Up next is Charizard. He's still keeping the rock type, but upon evolving, he gains an additional type. So let's spin the wheel and see what we get. Looks like Charizard is becoming a fairy. I grabbed my T-pose Charmeleon sculpt and immediately started the elongating and thickening process. A little bit of pushing and pulling on the head surprisingly turned him into a rough Charizard pretty quickly. After that, I redistributed all of the obsidian elements and did a quick block out to start experimenting with ideas. With the addition of the fairy typing, I originally started thinking about clouds and softer shapes. You'll probably notice a few different ideas popping in and out throughout the sculpting process, but eventually the design evolved into more of a blend between obsidian and crystal. And honestly, being fairy type gave me an excuse to give Charizard wings. Although realistically, I probably would have added wings no matter what type he got, they're just too important to Charizard's silhouette. As you can see, I tried a few different wing shapes before settling on the one I found fit the best. After that, it became the usual process of refining each piece and adding detail throughout the sculpt. Even on parts like his tongue, which you barely see anyway. Charizard does go through a bit of a phase towards the end there, but he did grow out of it eventually. Upon evolving, the volcanic minerals within its body transform into massive obsidian crystal wings. Fairy energy emitted from these wings now courses throughout Charizard's entire body. I'm honestly really happy with how Charizard turned out in the end. Let me know what you think, maybe something you would have done differently. I'd genuinely love to hear your ideas. I'm really excited to move on to Squirtle, Wartortle and Blastoise next. Tash and I have both been pretty busy lately and we make all of these in whatever spare time we have, so bear with us between Pokemon because they're definitely going to keep coming. And now I'll hand it over to Tash for printing and painting.
After a quick stand and prime, it was time to start laying down Charizard's base coats. Once I was happy with this bright fuchsia pink tone, I started shading in the deeper areas with a darker pink to give him a bit more depth. Now for the fun part. With the airbrush pressure turned way down, I began splattering lighter hues of pink across the body to give Charizard that speckled finish. After that, I mixed up the same obsidian concoction from Charmander and Charmeleon and applied it across all of the stone areas. Then it was time to really bring our fairy Charizard to life, adding a pink to purple gradient across the wings. This time, instead of dry brushing the underside of the tail and belly, I softly dusted pink and white around the edges to create a much smoother, softer look using the airbrush. For the most time-consuming part, coating all of the obsidian pieces with quick-set UV resin. This part was painfully tedious. I had to work fast while trying not to make an absolute mess of everything. But honestly, nothing beats that glossy shine UV resin gives in the end. After one final assembly of the wings and tail, it was time for the glamour shots. Another Pokemon retyped, sculpted, printed and painted. Only about 1,000 more to go. If you made it this far, thank you for watching and get ready because Squirtle is up next. If you like our content, please like and subscribe as it helps us out and we'll see you next time.